Hello, I've got one more book from you. This is called Pro-Life, Pro-Choice, Pro-Spirit. As you can see, Pro-Life, Pro-Choice, Pro-Spirit, I've made the letters get bigger as we go down, because the point of this book is to help you understand that the ultimate decision about having a baby and what happens during having a baby is already pre-decided. So this is a book for people who have lost a baby, or are trying to get a baby and it hasn't happened yet, or have given a baby away for adoption, or anything like that where there's been a baby issue, because lots of women have lots of guilt, or they have lots of judgment about whether one should or shouldn't have a baby and so on. So by the time you get through this book, hopefully you're going to understand that it's already decided. Okay, so I thought I'd share this with you. On another video, I was talking about discover your baby spirit, because I was telling how many children are born very psychic, and that there are 5 types of children, which are the hero, star, indigo, crystal, and liquid crystal children. Well, that correlates with whether you're deciding to have a baby, or you've lost a baby, or you've given up a baby, or you just can't get pregnant. So I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the things that happen to people, and they come to me and they say, well, why did this happen? There's one particular story in my book, Pro-Life, Pro-Choice, Pro-Spirit, that I'd like to share with you. And this happened a very long time ago, and the person I'm talking about has since passed over, so we're not upsetting anyone, all right? This particular person was very much in love with her husband, and he went off to the war, and he was missing in action, and she was back at home very worried about where he was, and she had a small baby. And in her desperation, she made a prayer to God saying, bring my husband home. I don't mind if you take my baby from me, because when he comes home, we can have more babies. Well, she was in a desperate mood at the time, and I guess she didn't realize how powerful her prayer was. And shortly after that, her baby got meningitis, and unfortunately her baby passed back to the spirit world. And later, miracle of miracles, her husband was found in a prisoner of war camp, and he was able to come home back to her. But there was one problem. He didn't have the ability to be a father again. He'd undergone so much torture that that part of him had been destroyed. And now she couldn't have any more babies. And of course she said, why does this happen to me? Well, of course, it wasn't that God was punishing her. It wasn't that her little baby that passed over was punishing her. What it was that she was going through a lesson about love. You see, having a baby is not just about having a baby. It's much more involved than that. Before a spirit can be born on this earth, there has to be an agreement that you're going to be a mother. And so the pair of you have to bond spirit to spirit. And if the father's going to be deeply involved in the situation, then the father has to bond too. So there's a trinity there, father, son, mother. And of course then, hopefully there's happy families once a baby arrives. However, the world affects us, and things happen and we get tested. And there's a variety of ways that we can be tested. But through it all, each one of us has a spirit inside us, and that spirit is learning about divine love and divine wisdom. So when this particular lady that I'm talking about lost her baby, it pushed her into questioning God, and it pushed her into questioning herself and her own spirit. And as a result of that, eventually she developed her psychic skills and became quite a well-known medium. And as a result of her loss, she went on to prove to people that the spirit world existed, that after we died, our loved ones were still very much alive in the spirit world. And she was able to contact her daughter that had passed over and see her growing up in the spirit world, until one day her daughter, now a teenager, said to her, "I won't be talking to you anymore because you've learned your lesson." And she said, "What is that?" And the daughter said, "To be a medium," and then disappeared in a glory of light. I'm sure now they're happily united in the spirit world together and are planning some other lesson. You know, we all have different things happen to us. I myself have lost a couple of babies. And through the process of that, it also made me question who I am and what I'm doing. And I wrote that in the book, Pro-Life, Pro-Choice, Pro-Spirit. So, if you've had a situation where you believe that you're guilty now or that you're angry in some way, this is the kind of information you need to understand. Your guilt, your fear, your anxiety is created by your conscious mind. It's created by the conditioning of people who've told you what to believe. You know, when we're born, we don't have a religion, we don't have a philosophy or theology. We're just an open mind waiting to be told something. So all the things you believe in your spiritual essence about your religion are there because someone told you to believe them. What's important is you use your religion to get to your moral and ethic codes. It's also important that you use it to tap into your spirit self. And once you do, then your spirit self gives you a sense of divine awareness, of divine love, and the ability to share with other people. It allows you to be empathetic with everything that's going on this planet. So even though you may not know someone in Australia who's passing on right now, there's a part of you that might feel a sense of loss, as though someone good has passed by. If we think of famous people that pass on, like Michael Jackson, the whole world knew him, so everyone mourned the loss of him. But that suffering is no greater or lesser than losing a child. It's the same. But if we obsess on it, and if we judge and condemn ourselves, then we're missing the point. The point is that two spirits came together, they shared for a while, and they helped one another to learn a lesson, and then they moved on. Just the same as you meet a friend, you go places together, you chat and share all sorts of things, and then suddenly one day things happen and you drift apart and you don't need them anymore. But you never forget them. You always remember them with a good heart. It's the same with your children. It's the same with your grandparents. It's the same with your ancestors. You know them all, and you have deep feelings for them all. So I hope this has helped you to understand a little bit more about the value of life, and more importantly, the value of your spirit. So think about you. Think about what you came here to do. You might be interested in ascension now. So think about your vibration as a spirit. How much would you like to meditate, read books, take time out to contemplate who you really are? If you do that, you'll be a lot happier. All the worries and all the anxieties about all the things in your life that may or may not work only serves to distract you from being sensitive and sensible in your life. It stops you from listening to your spirit consciousness. And your spirit consciousness tells you, this is good, this is not. It's either yes or no. It's that simple. So, until we meet again, I hope that you'll get some of my books. This one, once again, Pro-Life, Pro-Choice, Pro-Spirit. is also an ebook. All my books are available on Amazon or in your local bookstore, and of course you can download them. I might just mention that if you're watching this, you might be interested in going to my show. My show is on webtalkradio.com. It's called Journey into an Unknown World. And there I take different topics twice a month and talk about them. So until I see you again, bye.